I think I feel like we're very positive people, so I don't feel like we're gonna hate a lot.
Right.
But let's go into some of the negatives. Some of the things that really let you down this year, if any. I don't know if you have that off the top of your head.
Just today, I mean, I loved Megan Thee Stallion's Fever album from last year. Thought it was really good. Hood Ratchet is like my favorite track off the album. I love it. And then I just found out like she dropped an EP.
Mm-hmm.
It's called I want to say, I think
Suga.
Savage is one of the tracks. Sugar, yeah. I only liked a couple songs off. The rest of it, I was like.
But what songs did you save?
Savage and the single, Captain Hook, the one that got the music video.
Those are and did you see that music video?
Yeah, I did. Love it.
Those are the tracks I saved, and this was an EP. It wasn't an album. You know what I mean? So I don't think.
Right. Can't hold it to a high standard, I guess, but
yeah.
The thing is, like, I don't think it.
Fire.
Captain Hook was fire, no question. Her delivery on it, her attitude, like the confidence that comes through with this woman is incredible.
Yeah, really cool.
But yeah, the rest of them, I was just like, I'm definitely not listening to this again. I just feel like it's the same kind of lyrical content, same kind of. I mean, some of it was like experimental in its sound, but I just didn't feel like it fit her. It wasn't it. And then
any other negatives?
Oh, I'm surprised we haven't talked about this. Childish Gambino's album.
It's sad.
It's sad.
It's sad, man. Remember, I'm trying to think. There have been some really low moments in time where when artists experiment, For example, when Lil Wayne dropped, what is it, Rebirth or something like that? Yeah, can't even remember because I hate it so much. Hated it. And
right.
I remember, I know you're not a huge Kid Cudi fan, but he dropped an album and it was so bad. I can't remember the name of it. It was like, What are you doing, guy? And this is the same thing with Childish Gambino. To me, somebody is gonna watch this and be like, "What are you talking about?"
For sure.
This was horrible. Absolutely horrible. A complete departure from what I like about Childish Gambino,
Right. Oh, I was just listening to a couple songs off Camp like a couple weeks ago. Dude was like so on par with like his lyricism. Above all, it was crazy good.
Yeah.
I think that he went from like that to like.
We'll never get it back. He'll never do that again.
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll never hear him rap again. I'm serious. You think otherwise or no?
I mean, it doesn't seem like he's interested. He's the kind of guy that like just loses in some stuff, right? I could see that.
It's gone.
It's fair. I feel like it's worth bringing up ADHD. I loved it. I know you've had other thoughts on it.
Yeah. No, I liked it. I don't want to put this in that category. Definitely not.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely not in that category. On my list, right, I have it as a positive. I saved 5 tracks from it. I thought it was good. I just don't think it was. Again, I think we have a higher expectation,
Mm-hmm.
And
I would. You know what?
I'm waiting for that moment where it's still. I mean, he has the M collab. He has all these cosigns, but I'm waiting for him to step up. You know what I mean? I'm waiting for him to just
take his crown.
I'd
say his lyricism is there. What impressed me about that album, if we're gonna go into it real quick, is the production. I thought the beat choices were unexpected. I thought he was gonna. I guess I expected a little bit more of a mixtape from him in a way, but I like how it sounded a lot more like an album. It sounded more like something that you could bump in your car or whatever. But it still had those like personal kind of tracks on it and the deep kind of devil's work type music.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's where we differ. I feel like I've only ever heard album material from Joyner. It's been so well thought out. Every step he takes is so methodical. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's everything. That he's every one of those songs. This is the perfect way of putting it. Every one of those songs on the albums, every song that we've heard from Joyner Lucas in the past 2 or 3 years was written. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was written over a period of time. I want something more like a mixtape. You know what I mean, from him. I want something more authentic like that. I want him to go in there and just spit off what he's thinking, you know?
Well, that's why he's known for his remixes, right? Because that's what happens, right? With his remixes, like,
and I love
the song
remixes.
drops, he writes it down. His beef with Tory Lanez, 24 hours later or less, he's dropping crazy fire, and those were amazing.
Those were awesome.
Just ripping it off, yeah. So maybe that's
Bank
what
Account
we
was one of my
favorite
songs by him, and it's a remix, you know.
I thought his Mask Off remix was crazy.
Mask Off was dope. There's one more. What was the other one?
It was a Panda. I mean, he did a lot. I think it's more Gucci Gang. The Gucci Gang
Gucci
one was.
Gang. Oh, damn, that was so good.
Oh, he shredded that beat up.
All right. Let me go into
in terms of disappointing albums, I think the only other one I would put is maybe Colores by J Balvin. I know we've touched upon Latin trap. This is a reggaeton album.
One song, yeah.
I only saved two, like Rosa and Gris, and I'm a huge J Balvin fan. In fact, a friend of mine linked me to a podcast that covers his whole life. I listened to the whole thing. Crazy cool background, life story. He's an international hit. He's up there with Bad Bunny in terms of like household name for even in the US or whatever. But like you compare that to Vibras, and I'm like, it's nowhere near. It's like, and it's even more of a difference than Russ going from like this album and his past one. Like Vibras, I think is a masterpiece. I want to say that. Like in terms of reggaeton albums, I saved almost every track off that album. Like no question, I would listen to that album front to back and enjoy like pretty much all of it. And then, you know, he had his collab last year with Bad Bunny, and then this year it's just like, what were you doing, dude? Just 10 tracks, and like, I don't know, it's kind of a disappointment. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't awful, but it's a little bit of a disappointment.
Hated the A Boogie album. And I'm a supporter of his. You know what I mean? I think this one was called the bigger artist 2.0.
Artist 2.0. Yeah, Artist 2.0.
Yeah. And it just didn't hit for me. He's doing, in my opinion, has done way too many features. His sound is oversaturated. You know, he's got so many knockoffs of him at this point. His sound is just
he's commenting on that too.
It sounds unoriginal. You know what I mean? I hated every part of this album. It just was not good.
I've never been a fan of like the really sing-songy type rap unless it works, which occasionally it does, and when it works well. But if it doesn't work, it bombs, man. Bombs.
The J Electronica album, you already know how I feel. Terrible.
Oh yeah, almost forgot about that. Yeah, dude. Hated it. I've been listening to the. You know, I'm a big follower of Joe Budden, huge fan of his podcast and his platforms. Yeah. Dude, one thing he's been talking about, and he mentioned this on State of the Culture, he's like, am I the only one that didn't like this album? Because it seems like most people are like, oh, yeah, it's surprisingly good. I mean, Jay's head, like, and Joe Budden comes through, like, who gives this guy the permission to be, like, a household name put up there with, like, these mystified legends or whatever of, like, you know, dropped for me, he's the guy that got dropped on the Control verse. Like anyone that had any kind of a name got dropped on Kendrick's Control verse. And he was put on there, J Electron or whatever. And I'm like, man,
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick asked you to step up.
Tyler McMillan. Yeah.
I mean, it seems like you tried. I want to say he tried on this, but it's not an enjoyable album.
And I can't believe, why did Jay-Z come to this man's rescue and hold his hand through this? Oh, sickening. A grown man needs another grown man to drop an album. Just that takes away all your credibility. It's gone.
For sure. It's like you're just following alongside his shadow or whatever.
Oh man.
And Jay-Z's not even the kind of guy that's like, I feel like it'd be different if it was like Kanye, who's like a little more consistent with putting out material or something. But Jay has only been coming out when he had something really important to say, I feel like, you know, with 444, then with his collab with Beyonce. Otherwise, he's been very silent. So it feels like it should have been a big deal for Jay to bring up J Electron, but the album just doesn't, it's not fun to listen to. It just,
Not at all.
I remember it literally bothering my ears. Like I just wanted to like turn it down or like turn it off. It's just like, who produced this?
Also, didn't like Rich the Kid's album. I know that doesn't mean much to you, but I liked his last album. And
I like the song Splashing. A friend of mine kept playing Splashing
so good. That's from his last album. Yeah.
What was it?
Wicked.
Find $100,000 in my pocket. No, in my backpack.
And this was just really bad. Another one where I just didn't. Did I save a song? Hold on. Did I save a Rich the Kid song? I saved 1 out of 20. That's definitely a failing. It's great.
That's a failing grade. Yeah.
And then finally, I just a note. You know what I mean? Biggest disappointment was definitely Childish Gambino, but I listened to the Partynextdoor album again too. Again, I know not your
I didn't even mention it. I listened to it too, dude. I actually didn't get through the whole thing. I rarely will stop listening to it. I just straight up stopped. I was like, this is trash.
So bad.
so bad. And I feel like there's been hype behind him though. I feel like people really like him. You know?
Yeah. But no,
I don't know why.
Can't get with it.
Just because, I don't know.
So that wraps it up, man. That's it for me.
I think we forgot to mention the Allegory by Royce the 5'9".
Which
I'm gonna say real quick. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say extremely talented, people have said one of the best rappers alive. And I think it's undeniable. He's technically one of the most capable. You can see why him and Eminem work so well together is because they're both technically just insane rappers. Like you can see why the underground respects them because they came from that and they came from people that can just put so many unexpected words, so many unused words. Like it's relatively easy to make a rap album if you just use the same kind of words that everyone else is using, like the drop tops and the racks and whatever. But with Royce, like he obviously has a lot to say and it's all very deep stuff. What I didn't like, and it's extremely different, I'm sure, from what you didn't like. I didn't like the fact that he got into some like pseudo woke shit where it was just like he had 2 lines that were about vaccines and how he just doesn't mess with vaccines. And I'm like, Royce the 5'9" is an anti-vaxxer. I'm pretty sure T.I. is as well. And it's just so sad because I respect those 2 guys so much on a rap level. And now I'm like, are you guys so dumb to believe that vaccines are like messing up your kid? Like you're not going to vaccine your kids. Now we've got a freaking pandemic going on. It's disgusting to me. Just that alone pissed me off.
Yeah.
And it's just too long as well.
I just want to make a couple more shout outs. Drake dropped 2 songs, Life is Good, which was a banger. I loved it.
I can't deny it. I'm not a Drake fan. Loved it.
But Future's part was way better.
Yeah, I wait for that. I mean, I play the whole song because Drake's verse is good, but I always wait for Future's part.
Future's part was awesome. Did you listen to the new song or no?
Oh yeah, I did. It's top of Rap Radar right now, right? Not Rap Radar, Rap Caviar.
What'd you think?
I did. I didn't like it, but that's just me not being a Drake fan, as always.
Yeah.
So it might be good. I don't know. It has to be really good for me to like it if it's from Drake.
Yeah, I liked it. I won't say anything more than that. Okay. Jack Harlow, What's Poppin' was awesome.
Oh, we never ridiculous, dude. What's Poppin'? I'm putting that up there, top 5, maybe top 10, but it's one of the best songs of the year for sure.
I like the Kid Laroi. I know and don't think you've listened to him yet.
I think you linked me once. Right, yeah.
That he's dope. Broken a Minute, Tory Lanez was really good.
Oh, that's a banger. And I've been trying to avoid Tory Lanez, keeping that, pardon me, out of my rap diet, but can't deny it. Dude's got some hits. Yeah. Well, let me put in my my shout outs first then.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Last few shout outs. Snow the Product, steady dropping awesome music videos. Like good songs. Not her best like rap type stuff in terms of like actual song material, but just really fun videos, really creative. She's keeping herself busy these days. Snow the Product.
Oh, okay. I missed the first one.
And I've always been big on calling her my favorite female artist. And I don't say that lightly. I mean, she's in my like top 5. She's really good. And Princess Nokia. Shout out to my friend Declan. He put me onto her albums. Yeah, I never. It's been a recent. I just heard it a few days ago actually. But she dropped two albums. One of them was called Everything Sucks, and the other one is called Everything Is Beautiful.
Okay, is it good? Is it rap?
Yeah, both of them are really good. They are rap, but they're kind of like they get that kind of poetic slash what do they call those, spoken word kind of vibe.
Kind of like Rhapsody.
Yeah, sort of like Rhapsody. Like Everything Is Beautiful definitely has a Rhapsody vibe to it. Everything Sucks, I'm not sure what to compare it to. More of like a Doja Cat slash Cardi B kind of sound. More of like the bad
Okay.
girl kind of sound. It's
And you
cool.
like
Just
it or no?
the concept. I love it. Yeah, it's great. It's not my kind of hip hop,
Okay.
but I respect it a lot. Like she's one of
Princess
those artists that got a good
Nokia.
grip. Yeah, she's got a good grip of her lyricism, and sonically just making good music. Because often it's like either
Interesting.
they're good lyricists or they make good music to listen to. I think she's got a really good balance of both.
All right.
And then Mike Towers, that was 2020. Great album.
Who's Mike
I
Towers?
saved a
Who's
bunch of
Mike
songs.
Towers?
Yeah, he's a Latin trap, kind of
Oh,
like
Latin trap.
an Anuel AA, Bad Bunny kind of sound. He's got Farruko featured. That's actually the only feature he's got on it.
Okay.
Just really cool vibes on that album.
All right. So let's do top 3 albums of the year so far.
Right. I'm definitely gonna put
Start at
Bad
number 3.
Bunny's. Start at number 3. Okay. um, Number 3, I'd put Russ's. I would say. I mean, let's remember it's only a quarter of the year, so we're just talking about a few months here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I'll put Russ number 3. I know I said like I didn't like most of it, more of a softer sound, but at the end of the day, he's one of the most talented artists that has dropped this year. And those 3 songs that I saved are absolute masterpieces, like 3 of my favorite songs of the year. Number 2, I've got to put Funeral. Yeah, man, Wayne. I mean, we've talked about how he might just be the greatest of all time. I'm always gonna put Eminem, but Wayne is right up there with him. And it took me a long time to like realize that just how much impact, how much raw talent, how much creativity. The dude's got it all. But I think his strength is just it's quantity and quality. Is having so much
It's unbelievable.
material, such a
So
long
much.
album, and yet it's still so good. And he's like rapping the whole time. He's just dropping
And you just
bars
don't
after
get
bars
that.
after bars.
You don't get that from
Yeah,
anybody else, It doesn't
for
happen.
sure. Yeah. And then Joyner Lucas's album, I really
It's
really
number
enjoyed it,
1.
dude. I mean, did you listen to it? How many times did you listen to it? Because
Once.
you gotta go back, man. It just, I don't know, it hits different. I feel like if there's any rap album I'm gonna work out to right now, it's gonna be Joyner's, and I feel like that says a lot because it's got an energy to it. It's got a hype to it. It hits harder. I thought that Joyner was more of the like sit down and kind of like think about it type of artist, but this album, it sonically hit me. Like this guy
Wow.
can hit on the beats. Yeah, Joyner's album is an exception. It's a different case because as we know, we didn't mention this, but half the album already came out before it dropped.
Yeah.
Like at least half the album was already out on YouTube through music videos that he's been dropping, and so I feel like its impact wasn't felt as much. And I know it's gotten some negative reception because of that, but I think you should still see it as like a project. I mean, like all those songs that were good when they came out, they're still really good. I loved the music video for Will. It was a great song, excellently written. It's like what he's best at. Isis, man, that was one of the best tracks that came out last year. And Logic's verse on it, just insane. That was one of my favorite tracks on it. Joyner, held his own. All through and through, I thought it was a really good album. Bad Bunny's album is one I've been going back to. I know it's more like a trap kind of reggaeton fusion, but that's one I've been listening to a ton this year.
So what? Okay, so at 3 we've got
I put Russ,
then
Shake the Snow
Wayne,
Globe,
then
Wayne, and the Joyner. Shout out Massachusetts.
All right, I'm down with it. I think my non-rap mention is The Weeknd. I think that's definitely like if I was to nominate something for album of the year, I might put The Weeknd. It was really awesome.
It's powerful.
So
for sure.
Just a shout out. But okay, if we're doing rap from 3 to 1, is Kamaya. And just because I've had time to go back to it. You know what I mean? It was dropped in February, and unlike the Duke Deuce album and the G Herbo album and the Blueface album, I just haven't had much time with them, and I keep listening to the Kamaya album. It was really good. Really loved it. So Kamaya, got it made. I saved Intro, Pressure, Get Ratchet, Still AM, Whatever, Whenever, man. Whatever, Whenever is so good. Those are the tracks I saved, and it was
not to be confused with Shakira's.
Yeah, exactly. So that's number 3, Kamaya. Number 2, gotta put Lil Uzi Vert there with. I just counted that as one album. That.
Of course, yeah.
Eternal Take, and then the other one was Lil Uzi Vert versus the World 2. He technically releases it as 2 albums, you know, which is amazing. And there's just so many good songs off there. And then finally, I mean, goes unsurprisingly, Wayne at number 1 was just. And I'd never thought, if you were to ask me at the start of 2020, what I think, you know, who would I think dropped and would have the best album so far, would have never said Wayne. Would have never said him. And it's just unbelievable. So good.
I wasn't expecting it, that's for sure.
It'll be interesting to see who takes him down, you know, at our mid-year review.
Right. I mean, Wayne's last album was great, though. Carter 5 was it Carter 1 or 2 years ago? Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years ago now. 2018.
Yeah, 2018. I think those are some solid picks. I mean, between what you and I have
2018
named, those are 6 undeniably great albums that we can all go and listen to.
Yeah, and I think we can mutually agree that there was a lot of material, a lot of good material, you know? And as rap fans, like,
I feel like compared to the first quarter of 2019, it's just looking way better.
Oh my goodness. 2019 was abysmal to me. It was not good.
I wouldn't go that far, but it wasn't great compared to 2018.
Dope. Well, man, this was awesome. I think it'll be cool to
it's fun.
Chop this up and you know, at least share some of our opinions.
No doubt. Yeah. I think it's needed.
Much needed.
For all those looking for
it's good.
I
feel like after all the, you know, we've been listening to music together and sharing our musical opinions since 2014. And this is the first time that I think, well, I mean, obviously the rap show, the radio
straight
show,
out of Worcester.
That was definitely like the pinnacle of our, you know, of us sharing music, because it was just perfect on a weekly basis to just go through. And all right, dude, like I said, this was awesome. And guess what? Cut.
It was real. Signing
Cut.
off. Peace.
Gotta.
Duranman.